is changing, the world's on fire. I want to do my part to inspire change.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ignite Illuminator series. We are absolutely delighted to have Jennifer Thompson with us today. And just for frame of reference, in case this is the very first Ignite Illuminator interview that you're listening to today, our illuminators are people who are experts in their field. They're typically women who may have reached a point in their life where they feel and think that they've spent a lot of time in a certain topic, or they're very passionate about a topic and they have something to share. And we're quite confident you're going to find it really interesting, because today's topic is all about Tantra. So welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much, Maggie and Alice, for this absolutely fantastic time to talk with you. And like Maggie always says, to play. So let's get down on whatever you need to know. But thank you so much for inviting me into this afternoon with you.
So tell us how you got drawn into Tantra. What attracted you to Tantra, and how did you develop in that way?
Okay, I would love to share that. So I've been a financial advisor for as long as I can remember. I came from a history of numbers, family, my dad were just numbers people. And last year, I happened to be in Greece and I attended a cacao ceremony. And I had never done anything even remotely like that. So I was interested. This lady who's a priestess and a shaman was going to be doing a cacao ceremony. And I thought, well, kind of piqued my interest. So why don't I attend this cacao ceremony? And there was 20 of us at the cacao ceremony, and it literally blew my mind. It really did, metaphorically as well as I think physically, it also did something to my mind. So the cacao ceremony was fantastic. And during that cacao ceremony, something shifted in me. First thing, the recognition that I can no longer just live from my mind, but I had to do more than that. If I wanted to be fully expressed and live fully in this world, I can't just live through my mind. It's got to be my emotions and my body as well. So the cacao ceremony was so well done. I was moved beyond anything I can remember. And like I said, I'd never done anything like it. So then I was intrigued, and I asked the celebrant, the person who was conducting the cacao ceremony, a little bit more about her background. And then I found out she was going to run these Tantra training courses. And I thought, oh my God, tell me more. So like the West, I had a particular idea about Tantra, but it's not quite just about sex. Not that there's any problem with it. There's a lot of sex in Tantra, but it's not just about it. So there's this idea the West has about Tantra, but that's not all there is to Tantra. So I was totally intrigued. So not only did I attend her online Tantra teacher training course, her Tantra course, I also attended the Tantra teacher training course. And it totally has transformed so many aspects of my life. And so that's what I wanted to share. So that's how I started in Tantra. I went to the cacao ceremony, then I went and did her course, and I wanted more, so I became a teacher as well.
So it's really opened you up and connected you, because you were so strong in a certain aspect of yourself, your mental aspect of yourself, as a long-term financial planner, a number cruncher. I remember you telling me that you were, as a teenager, watching the Dow Jones stock market and telling your friends you couldn't go out and party until you got through that. So, and it was really, strongly a value and a mentorship in your family as well. So coming to this cacao ceremony, and you're like, well, there's so much more to me, and I'm excited to open up and explore. And that's just profound.
Yes, I was so moved. I cried at the cacao ceremony. I mean, I would love to conduct one and have you attend it. But I
Oh,
was
well,
so moved. I mean, I was just crying. I don't know if you've been to many cacao ceremonies, but it
yes.
does something to a person, and it really dismantled a lot of my walls that really needed dismantling.
Mhm. Wow. Wow.
Absolutely. I was also intrigued when you said that the cacao ceremony affected many parts of your life. Can you share a little bit more about what you meant by that?
I will. I'm not somebody who taps into or shows my vulnerability very easily. You know,
Mhm.
I was raised in a home where crying was seen as weak.
Yeah.
So vulnerability was not something we talked about. But the cacao ceremony gave me permission to be vulnerable with all these other women. And it was actually, I found strength in my vulnerability. It's
Mhm.
okay to love fully and deeply. It's okay to give everything. It's okay to do all of that. And it's not just about the heart and the mind. It's about your entire body. There's something deep about it. It's like it really did. Cacao does soften your heart.
Mhm.
And then so you can really embody some of the elements while you're in the ceremony. And one of the things I needed to embody was forgiveness, also the capacity to love uh, wholly without thinking that I had to protect my heart. And that was really important for me because I had had my heart broken before.
Mhm.
And it's not something, and it's not something I like to talk about. But
Mm.
I really, during the ceremony and the process in which she took us through, allowed me to see aspects of myself that I really wanted to change so that I could let love in a bigger way than I've ever had before.
Mm.
Wow,
That's
that
just
sounds,
so beautiful.
yeah,
I can just,
delicious.
I
Yeah.
can feel that energy of melting and opening and expanding and
Yes,
deepening. Yeah.
Maggie,
When
you summarize it so well, actually.
so when you say, and I think it's true, I think we think of Tantra, we immediately think of sex, right? And that's awesome and juicy too. It's wonderful.
Yes,
It's a wonderful gift, and it's a wonderful way to connect, and it's intimacy, and it's a lot of things. But before we go there, you said it's so much more than sex. So could you speak to that?
yes, I will. And first thing I want to let you know, two things I love more in life than anything is money and sex. And I still do. So first, initially, I thought it was really just going to be about sex, but I found that though there's a lot of things in life, sex is so fantastic, but there's also a lot of things in life that complement and make sex even more fulfilling. And I thought I had a great sex life, and then Chandra says, "Oh my God, there's something like totally transcends my brain." But anyhow, what so what tantra it comes from a Sanskrit word, tantra, and it really means the weaving of opposites. So tantra is about weaving together, and it's really quite delicious. We come from such a polarized world. I mean, there's elections that we had in BC just a few days ago. Re-elections are going to happen in the States, and over again we see how polarized our world is, right?
Yeah.
Good, bad, left, right, black, white. Well, tantra is about weaving together. It's about melding and bringing together opposites, light, dark, masculine, feminine, uh, good, bad. There's no good and bad. It's about bringing together yin yang. It's about bringing all the opposites together so that we can become more whole and one.
Mm,
Not that we're
I love that.
separated. And the best way to bring us together is first to integrate self.
Hmm.
So in a lot of traditions, like Buddhist traditions, and they talk about transcending self. But Tantra is about embodying self.
Mm.
And that is I think that is exactly the essence of Tantra, is to embody all parts, the yin, the yang, the masculine, the feminine, the dark, the light. So we talk about our shadow side, and it's okay to embrace it. What does it mean to embrace your shadow side? You know, we're not bad people. We just, parts of ourselves might have been split up a little bit, and bringing it together makes us richer and more whole and so much more present. And I told myself my word for 2024 was to be present. And Tantra was totally the answer to that prayer, because it teaches you to be so fully present, masculine and feminine within. And when you become integrated within and you accept all aspects of yourself, you become a good lover to you. So you can be the ultimate lover to the other.
Mm.
You're speaking our language.
Yeah, I'm learning so much because I really didn't know very much about Tantra at all. It's really opening up my mind. I love those concepts of the weaving together and the embodying of self, because I think it's like you, I've lived so much of my life from my mind, and that's how we're all conditioned, right? You go to school, you go to college, go to university, you think about your career, you think about this, you think about that, versus the feeling and the being. That's not part of Western culture at all, is it?
Not at all. And the idea of embodiment, one thing for sure, our minds can lie to us.
Mm-hmm.
Our emotions can lie, but our bodies never lie.
Mm. Mm.
And if we allowed our bodies to do the talking in a lot of different things, and we start to honor the truth of our bodies, we'll go so much further in life.
I love that.
I love that. I think what's speaking to me is like here at Ignite, you know, we always welcome all of ourselves, right? We always talk about we're all yin and yang, we're all light and dark. And that, you know, the proverb of the two wolves. And I've known that for many, many years, but it has deepened and deepened over time. So I used to think, you know, like the proverb goes that there's a grandchild talking to a grandparent about this fight inside. And the grandparent says, well, that's because you have two wolves inside of you, like all of us do. You have the light wolf that is full of love and peace and generosity and compassion and all good things. And then you have the dark wolf inside of you that is full of jealousy and fear and anger and frustration and anxiety and all things. And the child says, well, which one wins? And the grandparent says, the one you feed, right?
Yeah.
And I think naively and earlier in my development, I thought, well, if I just pay attention to the light wolf inside of me, the other one will just go away. Isn't that what we're all looking for in our enlightenment?
Yes.
And I was like, no, that's not how it works, because the more that I ignore that dark wolf, the louder it gets, the more snappy it gets, the hungrier it gets for my attention. And the more that I feed, the more that I ignore it, you know, it just doesn't go away. It actually just takes over. And so when I can turn to that part of me and say, oh, sweetheart, what is it that you need? What is it?
Exactly. And I think I think we all want to belong and to be accepted for who we are. And when we're not, then I think all these dark sides come out. We feel like we're not. And it's just this we're trying to protect that side that really wants to belong. And it's interesting when you shed light, like I've got my shadow side is I'm competitive. And then I worked in a very male dominated industry. 85% of the financial industry is made up of guys, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. So really, and I was raised in a home that was highly competitive, overachievers. You were nothing if you didn't have 2 degrees. So it's all like, you know, just all this competition. And it's not like I hate or feel embarrassed about being competitive. I can use my competition for good things, right? And the more light I shed on the dark, the less it seems to be so dark, you know? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's just taken me forever to figure it all out. And I don't have to be ashamed of those dark sides. I can bring it out, and all of it, you know, it's all of it. Why not? The yin yang, bring it all together.
It's so much of our our upbringing is about reframing, right? Now that we're at a different place in our lives, and we're finding this with a lot of women who've had their careers, who've raised their children, who are now looking to the next chapter of their life and saying, what next? It's almost like I want to go through this period of reconditioning first.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm thinking like Tantra. Now I'm more intrigued to learn more about it and how it can be incorporated in everyday life. So can you tell us and all the listeners a little bit more about the before Tantra, Jennifer, and the after Tantra, Jennifer? What are the most significant changes you've seen and incorporated?
Absolutely, I'll do that. So one of the things that I've not been in touch with for most of my life is my feminine side. So I have a very masculine side. It was the way to be in my family, was the way to be in my life. And then and it's a side that I embraced a lot, right? It kept me safe, I kind of thought. You know, the strong side, the don't cry about anything side. And so the feminine side never got really nurtured. And I noticed in my relationship, it was really needing to be nurtured. You know, despite having two daughters, I remember that when they were teenagers, I had to go to a therapist, and he said, "You are so you even intellectualize your emotions, and somehow now you've got two teenage daughters, and they're all a bunch of emotions." So it's like that was my journey to start getting in touch with my feminine side, but nothing could unlock it the way Tantra has. So, yes, because Tantra really talks about the healthy feminine and the healthy masculine coming together within the person. So in answer to your question, Alice, Tantra is really about walking towards wholeness. And this wholeness is to integrate various aspects of self, right, and embody it. So Tantra is all about self-embodiment so that you can be fully present, both the masculine and the feminine. But the feminine never got fed. So I've been through my Tantra classes, I have been listening to what a healthy feminine looks like. And it's okay to give her the stage now and then. You know, now it's okay to cry. I cry at every show now. You know, it's okay to cry. And I really like it. I really like it. It's okay to not be stuck in an idea. It's okay not to always have structure. It's okay to be free. Even that's, it almost sounds like I'm betraying my old self, but it's okay to betray my old self. You know, the idea of no structure. I mean, I love the place, always perfect and everything, but it's okay to have a little bit of a mess. I always avoided messiness because really, and many relationships because they were messy, but it's okay to have your hands dirty. It's okay to have a mess and not always know the outcome of anything. It's okay.
It sounds like a fuller, deeper experience of living in yourself and in life and connecting with others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And every day, it's, you know, and in the Tantra classes, you also, there's a lot of healing of the inner child because it's really a walk towards wholeness and wholeness in the embodiment of all sides, right? There's no bad, good. It's all light, dark brought together. But in the dailiness, I'm now reminded that I don't have to be disappointed with myself. I don't really have to be disappointed. It's just I've got to just turn and listen. So I don't have to be. So those are some of the things, you know, and in Tantra, it's all about like you look at your inner child or you look at what happened, but now you don't have to blame anybody. You can just say, okay, I can just love her. I can love her. And Tantra is really, really, it's all about love. I can love me so I can love my partner more and my children even more fully, right? So I think the dailiness is just that it was so transformative that now it seeps into every aspect of my life, including managing people's money. which I mean, people say, how do you bring love and money together? You have to. It's precisely what money should be about. It's really about bringing love. And now I can hold space for my clients in a way I never could before.
Mm-hmm.
I love that your business is money and desire, your business with your beautiful partner, Brenda. And I love that there's this whole other aspect developing now in Tantra, right? It's just widening and deepening everything in what you do. Could you give us an example of how you bring Tantra into daily living, like maybe an exercise or a
Absolutely.
strategy or a tool? Yeah.
I would love to do that. So Tantra stuff is all about Tantra's breathing is very different from, let's say, meditation breathing or yoga breathing. Tantra breathing is really about shaking the energy inside and breathing deeply. And Tantra breathing, and we can say this, it's if you breathe correctly in Tantra, you can get totally turned on. Just let you know. So it's the ultimate self-pleasure.
The ultimate self-love.
Absolutely. So, and in Tantra, so one practice you can do in the morning, you can wake up and shake out your energy. In the evening, before you go to bed, look at a candle and breathe. And you breathe. And Tantra is also very much recognizing all your chakras. So as women, we want to breathe in from our root chakra because our bodies are created like that. We breathe in abundance and Mother Earth and the light. If we're seeing a light out there, we can breathe in, right? And then we breathe out. We breathe in from within our right in our root chakra. We breathe in, and then we release. Then we breathe in, and then we release from the heart. So it's like this. So it's really nice. There are a couple of circles, or you can breathe in from the root and breathe out from the heart. Breathe in from the root, breathe out from the heart. And if you've got a lover that can do the other way, you're really, really breathing in and out to each other.
Mm.
You're just going to do it with the light you can. I have a candle lit and breathe in. And when you breathe in, remember this is Mother Earth, who is abundant. See, money and desire, they always come together. So you breathe in abundance and you release the transformation to the world. And that's the other reason I wanted to be part of Tantra and learn about it, because I did want to make an impact in this world. So you breathe in and you just breathe out from your heart. We women are meant to breathe out from our hearts. We touch the world.
Mm.
That's just really yummy.
So you can do that for a minute. It'll change the insides of your body. Not only that, it'll really change your energy towards the people around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can understand that. I was feeling it as you were saying it. Just the whole motion and the circular energy.
Absolutely.
People. Yeah.
The other thing you can do is like I wake up early in the morning, but I make it a point not to jump out of bed because it's in my semi-conscious state that I can change who I am. So in that semi-conscious state, bring in both aspects of yourself. So the healthy masculine within ourselves is able to hold a container, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you think of it that way, the healthy masculine that's in all of us is structure and can hold a container. And the healthy feminine is able to express within that container an energy that's sexy, that's beautiful, fiery, angry, crazy, right? The healthy masculine holds the container while the healthy feminine expresses fully. So if you gave yourself that gift of bringing your masculine side, that's strong, firm, safe, and allow your feminine side to breathe in and out and just have her energy flow. Now you can be more fully expressed. I believe when we have a container, we're sometimes looking outside ourselves to find that container. We might not, but if we found the container within ourselves, so that's the structure, the healthy masculine within ourselves, one that observes, doesn't judge, holds the container.
It's
And
the one that,
yeah. And the healthy feminine within ourselves is the person that's the fire, the water, she's the elements. And, all of that being expressed. And just hold her and observe, right? And let her be. See, the healthy masculine holds, the healthy feminine just has to be. If she felt like sitting on the beach all day, go for it.
it's just full self-acceptance, full expression, compassion and love. And I love that, sometimes we're looking for that outside of ourselves. And honestly, we get a bit wounded when we are looking for it and we can't find it. But what you're speaking to is kind of like sovereignty to hold that and be that for ourselves. And
absolutely,
you're talking about the ultimate of self-love, self-expression, self-acceptance. And when we can work on that, then we have so much more to bring when we come into partnership with others who align with us.
Absolutely. And if the question to ask in the morning, who would I be if I was the ultimate lover to myself?
That's
Juicy
a great question.
I
Now,
love
when
that.
you were speaking about the sacred container, Maggie and I often talk about the chalice in Ignite.
I love that.
Yeah, the womb is also our chalice, right? It's
Absolutely.
from which everything emanates. So the root chakra being, the grounding of the womb. And then when you were speaking about the male being the container that holds the structure and the feminine energy being within that, I just got this whole picture in my mind of how to further that conversation with all of our Ignite community when we're doing, for example, our light circles, right? And that freedom to be both at the same time. And yes, what Maggie was saying, but not looking for it externally, it's within us. We have that power and that ability and that capacity. It's beautiful.
Yes, absolutely.
I
got it.
Another theme here is that we talk a lot about women who have been giving, and they're feeling depleted, and they're like, okay, now what? They come to a certain point in their life where they're just feeling depleted, and they're not sure where they're going to receive and get it back in a reciprocal way. And as you talk about this, giving it to yourself and filling up your root chakra from Mother Earth, filling up the chalice, as Alice says, and how it can be so rich and deep and accessible. It's not waiting for Prince Charming to come or Prince Charming to come. It's
absolutely
so accessible here now for us to deepen our experience of love and acceptance.
I love that. So many women just give. So it's so true. What if they called in their masculine side? The masculine says no. He doesn't have to give a reason. He just says no.
I love that.
Seriously, when did a man give a reason for why he said no?
Exactly. You don't have to soften it.
Call in the healthy masculine, he puts the boundaries. That's the structure, that's the container. I can say no. Call in the masculine who takes action. My action right now is to take care of me.
I love it. I love it.
Don't always have to go with the flow. So that's using both energies. And when we use both energies in a healthy way, right? Then we become, I think we optimize our energy, our strength, our everything about us. When we give, sometimes we give so much. What happens is a healthy and unhealthy feminine can creep in and give us a feeling of resentment. You know, we're just giving, giving, giving. We're depleted. We're giving, giving. And then there's some things like resentment might come up. But if we bring in the healthy masculine, no, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah.
No. So that like strong clarity of when it's a no and when it's a yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
How
Yeah.
has your world changed in other in your relationships with your daughters or your partner or your clients? Just maybe say more about, because I just feel like you've done such a beautiful transformation of who you are and your clarity of how you're loving yourself and accepting yourself and expressing yourself. So how does it show up in your world?
When you embody, like I said, the body never lies, but being more embodied and present, I think I'm living a truth more than ever before. And nothing like, I think relationships based on that truth is so scintillating, you know, so that with my daughters, I'm more in touch with my heart, which is within my body. It's not about emotions, but totally more in touch with my heart. I'm speaking from that place rather than just my mind. So I'm more empathetic than I've ever been before. I don't always have to be reasoning. I can also allow my heart to speak, not just my mind. And I'm noticing it with my clients. I can feel more for them. I can be in their shoes way more and not just give advice.
Mm. So it's just a deepening of
Oh, yeah.
all connections. So wonderful.
It is. It's nice. It's like walking this earth and feeling the ground.
If people want to know more about Tantra, what would you recommend?
If people want to know more about Tantra, I would love to share the link to my teacher. I think she's absolutely fantastic. She's a she's a Greek Ethiopian. So Greeks can be a little more emotional, and the Africans are very much earthy. So I wanted someone whose default was more earthy rather than North American, which is very much in the head. So she's very earthy. And I'm also going to be hosting two Tantra events next year. One in Salt Spring Island and another in Southern California. And
Ooh.
also hopefully with you ladies in Greece.
I know. I am so excited about us. We are cooking up that possibility of being in Greece with you and bringing Tantra in. And
Oh,
it's
I love
so juicy, and there's much more to come.
you ladies have shed light and shown me and exemplified what it means to be goddesses.
Oh,
Mm.
thank
It's
you,
not
Jennifer.
it's not an energy I've ever taken. Brenda teases me. She calls me Guru Jen or God. And I'm okay with that. But she's just poking because she thinks I've got this massive ego. And she's right most of the time. But with both of you, I love it. All these really amazing women coming in our lives. You know, I had a whole life dominated by men. And I've got these amazing women in our lives, and I just feel like, oh my God, so this is what I get to see, what the healthy feminine's like.
Absolutely. And it is our time. We talk and we hear it often about the rising of the divine feminine and the goddess and the age of Aquarius is about women finally being able to share everything about themselves. So the power within us. And whether it's from a divine or masculine perspective, it's we are finally able to stand on our feet and say, I don't have to hide. I don't need to shrink myself. I don't need to quantify what I say, but I am here and I am present and I can share from this place of power. And so, no matter what my
Exactly.
area of specialty is, I don't have to worry about being burned at the stake or drowned or beheaded or ostracized or isolated. It is now our time to shine.
Exactly. And exactly. This is exciting. And I wanted to say, if you were to take Tantra as a way let's say, embody Tantra or learn about Tantra, Tantra is a way of life, what happens is, because of the melding of all elements of the self and embodying it, and then it comes out in touch. So Tantra has this is the sexual element, but it doesn't mean sex. It's a sexual element because Tantra is very much about it, instead of denying self, right? We come from let's say a background where self-denial was really big, rejecting things. The monks, no sex, no this, none of that. Tantra is totally opposite. It's about totally embracing all the senses, all of it. And this is the sexual energy part. Sexual energy does not have to end up in sex. Of course, it would, it'd be really delicious, but it doesn't have to end up in sex. Having that sexual energy changes the way you touch things, the way you breathe, the way you walk. Have you ever seen someone walk and like, oh, she's got it going, right? There's something about that. So even in touch, because in Tantra, so much of it, of course, is about the sexual energy. And even in touch, just touching things, being so fully present and having all your senses go right to your hands and your fingertips, even in the way you touch, in the way you walk, having all your attention go into your feet. Tantra allows me to make a minute feel like eternity.
Wow.
And
It's
when
like-
that's brought into the bedroom, you can just imagine.
Like being fully present.
Yes. Then everything, all your senses just elevated, totally ignited, and it's in your touch. And that can be everything you touch, and the way you breathe, the way you walk.
So if somebody was interested in your event on Salt Spring, what would you say that they could expect if they're a little bit scared? Oh, I've never done a tantric weekend before. What would you say they could expect?
I think the first thing is dispel the myth that Tantra is all sex. It's not. It's about sexual energy. We will tap into that sexual energy in a way that's healthy, in a way that we've been denied because of all the taboos we've had in the past. Don't touch, don't do this, don't do that. You can't have fun, you can't shake, you can't dance. All these things that we might have heard when we were children. We start to disrobe all of that. It doesn't mean you have to go naked, but you realize, at least emotionally, mentally, physically, you're starting to disrobe from all this past trauma, past learning, so that you can be fully present for yourself. And that's number one. And Tantra is all about respect. Nothing about anything that will make you feel uncomfortable. And you just realize, even within that place, you can be fully expressed. So we'll do some dancing so that we get in touch with our bodies, dancing in a lovely way. We'll do some eye gazing, because guess what? When you look in, like they say, the eye is the place to the soul. Yeah. So when you eye gazing, we get to see people for who they really are. And you can't help but love when you see someone for who they really are. You really can't. It's just going to be you just feel it. It fills your body, staring into someone else's eye. You don't have to know them, but if you do that long enough, you start to let go of all the pretenses you've had and all the barriers you've had on another person because they look like this, or they're from this, they sound like this. All of that just starts to melt away, and you really see people for who they are. And guess what? People get to see you for who you really are. And there's nothing more loving than being fully present for another.
Just such a beautiful invitation to be present to yourself in a way that is so loving and open and accepting. And releasing and freeing.
Yes, there's a lot of that. There is a lot of that releasing, and you know, there'll be some inner child work as well. And there'll be some touch, but not touching in a way that you'll feel like, oh my God, someone's in my space. But you know, you're invited to touch, even if it's just to touch your hand or something. Allow yourself to come alive with the essence of touch.
Mm. And when is that happening, Jennifer?
So next year, that's happening in Salt Spring. They're both happening in August, and I'll be advertising it in Salt Spring. It'll be middle of August in Salt Spring, and then towards the last week in just outside of in California, just outside of LA.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, it will keep our Ignite community posted as you get closer to those dates and you have more information to offer. And we'll make sure it's posted in our Ignite Facebook group.
You bet. You bet.
I look forward to, I hope I can be there. And I really look forward to being you and doing some tantric self-love in Greece.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. Brenda and I just can't wait. We're so excited.
Yeah. And at some point, Jennifer, did you tell me, or did we hear that you want to be an instructor or put
Yes,
on
I do.
courses?
That's why I did the Tantra Teacher Training Certificate. Now I've got it. I finished level 1 tomorrow. Next year I'll do level 2. And yes, I do want to be an instructor. I did a few classes as well when I was in Greece. I taught a few classes in Greece, and I'm really looking forward to expanding on that. Like I said, money and desire.
Yes.
Together.
And when do you think you'll be complete? When can we expect you to start offering courses?
I would love to offer. Thanks for that question. I love that question. And I would love to start offering it in March if I'm going to create something and have people come over, maybe do a cacao ceremony, and it'd be really nice, you know, and start to explore how we can love ourselves.
Wonderful. And is there a special way to contact you? Is it through your website or an email if people want to know more or just follow up with you?
Yes, you can write to our email, team@moneyandesire. And guess what? After all the Tantra classes that I did, I told Brenda, and she could feel it. And now she's in the Tantra classes too.
Oh, that's great. That's
yes, so I'm
wonderful.
excited. I know.
Wonderful.
So we'll both be doing it.
That's so juicy.
It is.
I have a question for you that we'd love to ask all of our illuminators, and we ask this of ourselves because everybody, including us, gets stuck sometimes, right? So when you hit a dip in the road, a rough spot on your path, what is something that you turn to get you unstuck? It could be anything, but what is it, that a song, a quote, a tool? What would you say that you turn to?
I absolutely love music. I love music. I start the day with music, and some songs that I've learned or acquired or were exposed to in my Tantra classes. Some of them I use. And as well, I also listen to Michael Bublé's "Feeling Good" in the morning. You know, when I'm walking to the gym or walking anywhere, I just listen to him, and I'm like, you can't help but feel good. And it's like, what is the problem? We live in Victoria. You should not be sad. And so he's one of that. I also journal regularly, and I know that when I'm feeling like off, I find journaling is, for me, journaling is like a writing to my soul. It's a journey to soul. And so I journal, and it doesn't take much for me to start feeling good again.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's wonderful. Well, I can see that Tantra lights you up. I can see that
Yes.
money and desire lights you up, and sex lights you up, and life lights you up.
Yes, yes. Life lights me up. I'm totally, life lights me up.
It's wonderful.
Well,
Is there
thank you
anything else
so
you want to
much.
say before we?
I just wanted to say thank you so much to you, Maggie and Alice, for allowing us women to speak, to share, to grow, and to find a way to be all we were meant to be. I really appreciate it.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. We've really, really enjoyed listening to you. I feel educated and I just feel a greater sense of ease in all that you shared with us today. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You take care and have a great day, ladies.
Okay.
The world is changing, the world's on fire. I wanna do my part to inspire change. I wanna make my home a sanctuary of love and peace and harmony, and be the change I wanna see. The earth is my home, the earth is my mother. We will never have any other to help renew, rebuild, rebirth, a new way to be on earth. I wanna ignite, catalyze, take flight, burn like the sun, dispelling the night. Help humanity find its way back home. I wanna unite, stand and rise, shine bright, bring the truth into the light. Help humanity find its way back home. Come and dance, come and sing, come and pray.